So, prime morning, if you just join us here on the show, a very good morning to you. We want to believe that you're doing well this morning here. And of course, we say a big thank you to Nutri Snacks for bringing us prime morning each and every day. Like we always say, it's a family thing. And a family with Nutri Snacks, there's always peace in the house. And so make sure that you're also getting it, because Nutri Snacks gives you that energy to love each other. And so there's always peace in the house.
In the house. There's peace in your house, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always peace in the house.
It's always available for you to take it at midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
12 midnight.
Yeah.
12.
Kim that's his midnight snack. And so let me use this opportunity to say a big thank you for our sponsors yesterday for our special edition of the Easter Monday right here on Prime Morning. Yesterday was amazing. So a huge thank you to all of you. Cocktails Ghana, Picnic Station, Poquitos, and Rabbit Masters. We loved every bit of yesterday. Yesterday was really beautiful. And so thank you so much for making the Easter Monday edition of Prime Morning yesterday a huge, huge success.
Yeah, we love it. We love it. So this morning we're going to be checking the newspapers, what they've reported today. In the studio with us is Desmond Annan. He's joining us from the NDC communication team, and he's looking all black. Okay, so this I love this. You know, the leopard design at the top is also very, very nice.
Very nice.
You know.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. But I hope you're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
You didn't sound like you're good.
Exactly,
you're good like
because,
that. Or the economy is still not good.
Exactly.
So you're not good.
I mean, when you say that much, it sounds like a broken record. So we just have to take it cool. But it's fairly okay.
Well, how's the NDC camp? Things over the weekend, there were a lot of things that happened. I mean, we had NPP also speaking, which has become obviously talk of town and all of that. How's the camp receiving some of this information and all?
Okay, so first of all, let me take this opportunity to say a good morning to our party leaders, particularly the party chairman and the secretary, and my own boss, the honorable member for Esikumo Dobin Brakwa, Honorable Alasan Kobna Gansa, and all party faithfuls at the Botiano English Yaman from. That's where I reside.
Oh, that's my.
So I want to say a very big good morning to them. Well, NDC is fine. Just as we've always said, we are going through a phase of reorganization. And so we are at the point where we are going to elect our parliamentary candidates and then also elect a flag bearer for the party moving into the 2024 elections. And so for now, the doors are very open now. People have gone through vetting, and the green light has been given to those who went through successfully to begin their campaign. And so campaign is ongoing. In my constituency, individuals who have shown interest to be parliamentary candidates to lead are also campaigning. And so that is when, as we all know, the flag bearers are also touring the various constituencies and putting out their policies and stuff that they think they can do when giving the mandate to lead the party. So that's where we are now. So when this is fine, we are very poised for power in 2024. Inshallah, we are very certain the Ghanaians will give us the mandate.
It looks positive, right? On
very,
that side.
very, very positive. And I'm not too surprised that some of the utterances of some of these government apparatchiks over the weekend and subsequent days. And so we'll live up to see what will really come up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before we get started on what the newspapers have for us, so pollster Benefson made a very interesting, he said something very interesting in relation to former President John Dramani Mahama, that he could win the 2024 elections if he is to take a running mate from the voter region.
Okay.
So from the camp of the NDC, hearing this, how was the response like?
Well, the party structure, I understand without any confusion that it is the prerogative of the running mate to choose.
Right.
And then his choice will be subject to NEC approval as it were, because when you want to work with somebody you're very comfortable with, or you will be comfortable with, because it's your office. So democratically, we will not want to impose anybody on you. And so, for me, yes, it's a good advice. The poster has said his bit. I think that the honors will now lie on whoever the party elects as a flag bearer to sit and also engage and consult and then give us a credible personality who he can partner to get us victory in 2024. And so for us as party communicators, party grassroots people and all that, we are looking at whoever that the person chooses to run the ticket with, we will definitely work tirelessly to make sure that we bring NDC to power.
But you agree with him if it's to take from the voter region?
Well,
you could win.
I cannot say I agree.
Okay.
I cannot say I disagree.
Okay.
It is his view. And like I said, it is the prerogative of the flag bearer to propose that I think I can work with this person, or I can work with that lady.
Right.
And so he will give reasons. And then if it makes political and moral and social sense to the political actors here, i.e. the NEC, I'm sure they will consider it. And I know there are a lot of maneuverings and lobbying behind the scenes. And
that's what was expected.
Exactly. So we are looking forward to that too, because it's also very, very in high stakes. Very, very in high stakes,
Well, one conversation that actually came up, and it's because you mentioned the Prime Minister, and that's why I want to go back to that conversation actually. And maybe it's because of the sector where it's emanating from. The conversation of John Dumelo and Fred Miyama. Ever since that issue came up, I think it was in the entertainment space that there were too much noise on that. We didn't really hear much of the party's, view on it. I mean, it's not to take sides or whatever it is, but it was more or less like an internal wrangling between the two of them. And so we expected that, communication or whatever will come out to suggest that if any other person, wins it, we're as a party, we're willing to support the person. I don't know internally how you guys saw, the entire situation of Fred Miyama and John Dumelo.
Once again, I think that it's a democratic process, and the party open up the system that if you believe in yourself and you have what it takes to lead a constituency, pick up a form, go around the constituency, get people to endorse you, eligible people to endorse you, and come for vetting. If you go through vetting, you represent us in the constituency. So it was open to all. So the moment that is done, it means that any party person who feels he is qualified can pick up a form and do same. And so for me, I don't think that there's any issue. Fred Nyoma, right? He feels that the time has come for him to also join in putting up certain things in the NDC party in that constituency. Dumelo thinks he should be given the
chance again.
And then there's this other lawyer, I always forget his name. He also thinks that he has the mettle to lead. And so for me, I think they should allow everybody, and as it is now, I don't think that anybody has been gagged from contesting. So they should just go. Yesterday, or some few days, I was watching some videos from their constituency. It will be an interesting contest.
No, that place will be very interesting.
Yes, it will be very interesting. It will be very interesting. Particularly the Fred Nyoma and the
John Dumelo
thing. Very good friends. They had to go on radio and TV. You are not my friend
sure
again.
The party was happy about that. I mean,
these things excite the beast.
Was talked about.
These things excite the beast. And so let's see what will come out of that.
It will be an interesting one anyway. We're going to get into the newspapers now and see what we have been reported. Now, I'll start with Daily Graphic. It says Ghana on course for IMF approval for Yata says so. The same IMF issue again. We're in April, right? So much couldn't happen. But they say we're on course. We'll find out why, much didn't happen very soon. Now, take stress management seriously. Clinical psychologists to employers. And Africa needs global synergies to improve health. Ajman Menu says so. The big story over here says church leaders inspire a nation. Resurrection hope to overcome life's challenges. It's got pictures of Reverend Sam Kranchi, Dr. Mensa Otabil, and Bishop Charles Janasari captured on the front page. And it was all about the Easter celebration and matters arising. Now, let me check the back page. The back page says CDS inaugurates facilities at Jungle Warfare School. CDS inaugurates facilities at Jungle Warfare School. And Rick World Solutions supports New Life Nungwa Children's Home. That's the back page of the Daily Graphic. And a bit of sports over here. Ando excels at Interschool Athletics Championship. That's on sports. And explore alternative water supply tax, World Vision to government. Okay, so yeah, that's some stories over there. But of course, take stress management seriously is one of the conversations we're having on the show today.
Yeah,
on
doing good living.
Yeah, a lot of young ones out there, the Gen Zs actually battling depression, and we need to take it seriously.
Exactly.
But I mean, this is for the front page of the Daily Graphic. I don't know which one you want to comment on. Obviously, the IMF.
Right.
Yes.
I was hopeful about March. I mean, the president echoed it and all of that, so I was really hopeful that in March something quite, substantial will come out of this. But really, where we are now.
Yes, but you see, when for some of us who are political actors, we knew that, or we foresaw that it may not happen, because clearly, when you follow development, you would realize that there are certain things that, as a nation, through our Ministry of Finance and all those people who are leading the negotiations at the IMF, there were clearly things that we needed to do, which we were not meeting or we were not doing. And so I'm not surprised that the March deadline, which was touted by everyone,
Couldn't be met.
we couldn't meet it. And it's now been said to us today that May. So let's be hopeful. I mean, for us as a party, because we are seeking to lead Ghana from 2024 and beyond. And so we cannot be doom or naysayers. And so we hope that this thing is gotten right. And then we have that IMF coming on board to support the nation. Other than that, it will get down and we'll all have to face it, as it were. And so we will continue to wish government well. Even though
that is also to your benefit, by the way, not to catch you, but at the end of the day, it means that you are inheriting somewhat an enabling economy if it happens, so that we're able to, secure this IMF deal. Or you don't think that even after securing it, if the NDC is able to come into power 2024, it means that you are inheriting a very good economy.
You see, the only positive thing that we can be assured of inheriting maybe a very good economy after 2024 would not be because we still have good managers of the economy. It will be because we have a very prudent checker or a very disciplined group of people keeping an eye on us. You understand? I.e. the IMF. Because they will not give you money and sit aloof. And so that is the hope for us as Ghanaians, not even as a political party. They're going to be a check and make sure that whatever resources that are given to us are used judiciously and prudently. And so that's, if you say that it will inure to our benefit after 2024, that I can agree. But if it also happens that the IMF decides to also go to sleep, which I doubt they will do, then the story will be the same. And I don't think that we'll get there. I don't think we'll get there at all.
Okay. All right. So any other story that you want to comment on the front page?
Maybe the Easter.
Yeah.
Yes. And so it's a time that we all reflect about the death of Jesus Christ and the benefits that it brought to humanity. And so we will continue to encourage ourselves that in times like this, let us also, I always say that we always worry Jesus and his parents too much. I mean, every year, we will come and cry and say, well, who am I, and all that. And then we'll go back to our old stuff, and every year the man has to die. And so...
so Good Friday, did you wear black?
Good Friday.
Look like one who would do it.
No, exactly. That's what I'm asking him.
No. I because
he's even worried about the way you are putting.
Exactly. I mean, every now and then. Exactly. So let's help Jesus to enjoy or to have reason to have died for us. So we should stop some of these things. Nah, Jesus I mean, we should stop some of these things that do not inure to any good benefit to humanity, and be positive minded, and live our lives positively to give reason and very, very important meaning to his death.
But one other thing, though, which happens to be the celebration that comes with it. I mean, Kowu is always touted as the place you want to go during Easter. Unfortunately, this year, some people felt that it was a bit slow. Yeah. They attributed that to the economy and all of that. Now, I spoke to the Nkosohene of Kowu and Kwetia, who happens to be Wadi the First, Nana, already Wadi the First. And he said that it was because the IGP did a good job in ensuring that, people, a lot of policemen were in the system. So the congestion that usually you feel when you're in Kowu was not there. Because, I mean, at any point in time, you found a police officer, about 5-6 of them. So road traffic and all of that were really handled pretty well.
Exactly.
I mean, you give that, to him. So he does not believe that it's because maybe there's no money in the system, but it was because of the IGP doing a good job on that day. I don't know if you believe or if you've heard story about how slow it was this year. I saw it that way, so I questioned him and he said, no, he doesn't think it's the case.
Yes. I was also following from your sister radio stations. Yes, relatively. And it's also, I mean, let us not kid ourselves. There's no money in the system. I mean, the system is hard. Can't be very hard now. You get it. So, personally, I have never been to the Kowu Easter thing before. I always would want to monitor because of some of the things that I hear and all that. And so, definitely, there will be some underpinnings like the economic situation, and some other factors like you said. And I'm particularly excited about the fact that we didn't hear too many of these of issues.
Theft and all of fights and all of that. Yes. I don't think I ever saw anywhere that was reported.
And the reports that I also picked up was pretty the same as the fact that there were a lot of policemen to, provide security and all that. And so it's all good. But we cannot water down the fact that this economy is extremely, extremely hard. We are in hard times, seriously. Very, very hard times. And we don't want, you see, if you're a political person and you are speaking it or you're saying it, it's sticking because you are an NDC or you're a CPP or you don't belong to the government, that's why. Yeah, but they are our friends. Most of these MPP or government communicators, they are our friends. Some of them, we sat in class with them. All of a sudden...
Because of politics.
Because of politics. Their honesty and candid opinions about things have changed to something else. And I do not belong to that situation. I mean, I say my mind. If you like or you don't like, as your own cup of tea. But I'll speak my mind. That's for me.
And in truth,
And
I mean,
truth,
that's the underlying.
I mean, I would not exaggerate. No, I would not. If it's fine, it's fine. If it is not fine, I mean, if I come and say it's fine, my squad, they'll meet me and say, Charlie, you said it's fine, so do us fine. But if the reality is that it is not fine, you have to say it, and we move on. So government should, and government communicators should understand this. You see, when you have a problem and you don't want to say it right for people to appreciate it, then believability becomes a problem. Yeah. You understand? And so we want to encourage all of us, Easter, once again, we should change our life. That is it.
Anyway, let's have your newspaper that you have there.
This one talks about MPP committed to free and fair elections, will not, however, tolerate violence. And then there's this one here, Brina Champon.
Can you please mention the newspaper?
That's the new Crusading
That's
Guide.
the new Crusading Guide.
The new Crusading Guide, yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, it has MPP committed to free and fair elections, will not, however, tolerate violence. Brina Champon said nothing wrong. NPP defends Abetifi MP. Government projects Ghana Integrated Aluminium Company to anchor integrated aluminium industry, Land Minister. Then lawyer Kweli chases Betty for Afram Plain South seat. And then government committed to protecting large-scale mining companies. Mrekuduka assures. I think that's what we have on the front page.
Okay. So you want to comment on the government on large-scale mining?
Well, it is good. I mean, if it is...
Because right now, gold seems to be the only way out, especially with the go for oil business that we are, possibly entering into and all of that. So that aspect would also have to be taken the critical look at. So we're able to make sure that we have enough to get whatever we're doing.
But the point is that even with these things, unfortunately for the country, we are not earning that much from this large-scale mining and all that. And so if the commitment is that they are going to protect it, as it were, so be it. And we wish them well. Yeah, we want to wish them well. Yeah.
Okay. Which other one are we going to do? Do we have any other one?
MPP committed to free and fair elections will not, however, tolerate violence.
Anyway, the least said about this thing, the better. I feel that what happened over the weekend at the Kwewu, where the honorable member for Abetifi decided to go on rampage and see some of the things that he said. I'm not surprised that well-meaning Ghanaians, in fact, some of his own party bigwigs who mean well for the country have come out to condemn the comment as being very irresponsible, being a comment that can break a nation. And so these things, or this commentary, for me, they are afterthought. The minister, the sector minister, the Greek minister, who was also the MP for Abetifi, it cannot be lost on me, wields a lot of political control. Let's not forget that this is the same man who was in charge of the national security at a point in time when we had that infamous situation at Ayawaso West Wagon. And he admitted that he sent those thugs, I will not call them policemen, those thugs to unleash those violence on some Ghanaians just because they disagreed or they felt that they had a power. This is somebody who we know as a party as quite, let me just put it in plain language, that hard.
Okay.
You know, he is that, he appears to be a bit violent. And so we are taking some of these things not likely at all.
Okay.
And so for the party to say that they are committed to free and fair, and happenings over the period have shown that the government as ready to do anything in its power to retain power. And so you hear things like a new CI being in the offing to bar all other, Ghanaian eligible document for registration to be taken off and be left with just Ghana card or the ECOWAS card alone to be the sole identity to prove whether you are Ghanaian. And so these are things that, for us as a party, we think that are just snowballing to ensure that the party is retained to power, because they know that 2024 will not be an easy situation for them. Yes, that one they know.
Okay.
And so this commentary and some of these things, and we have said notice to them too, that yes, in as much as we are a democratic group of people, that's the NDC, we will also not tolerate some of these outbursts, because we will not want to take over a broken nation. And so we will not entertain some of these things, these commentaries that will come from some of these people. And we'll react to them appropriately.
Okay. Now let's move on to the next newspaper, and that is the Daily Dispatch. Brian was responding to Mohammed's comments that nobody can beat NDC in unleashing violence, and this is from NPP. We also have Baumia, likely to be NPP's flag bearer, followed by Kennedy and Allen, and this is from NDC's Samoa Ado. Very interesting. And then next story, ensuring power stability and reliability. Ghana signs new power purchase agreement. And that's all for the front page of the Daily Dispatch. Desmond, I believe you would want to say something about what's NDC somewhat.
Few words. Few words.
Okay.
For example, the power purchase agreement. This is. I was quite surprised to have heard that this was going on, and it is also like a situation where they talk too much in opposition, and when we give them the mandate, they are wobbling. I mean, they just cannot fathom what governance really is, because some of these things we did when we were in power, they condemned outright. Take or pay. That's what they've signed. And this government in opposition condemned NDC, robbed us all over the place to be incompetent because we've signed a take or pay agreement. Here we are, 2023. We are back to the same situation. So we leave them to it. And like we've always been saying, Ghanaians are watching, and they'll pay them back in 2024. I have no doubt in my mind. You see, I keep on saying it. It's because we are not complacent, but we have no doubt in our mind that Ghanaians will not entertain these things.
And you don't also think that if the NPP is able to stabilize the economy and things get better, Ghanaians would...
It will not happen.
Still have a year to go.
You see, it won't happen. If it's about the NPP thinking of stabilizing this economy, it will not happen. That is how come they are still chasing the IMF, even when they gave us a deadline to be March. We are in April, we are going into May. If they were really going to be able to help the situation, I'm sure by this time they should have been able to do so. They cannot. That one I can assure you. The system,
but it's very possible the IMF deal will go through.
We hope so.
Even if it goes beyond May.
We hope so.
It's very possible as it stands right now. It's very possible.
We hope so, like I said.
And if that happens, it means that they'll be able to stabilize the economy, because they'll be...
and Ghanaians will know that it is because there's an external hand checking them. If you leave it to them alone, give them all the monies in this world, the next 1 or 2 days, Ghana will be broke again. Yes.
But you think that the ordinary Ghanaian man will not be looking at the money in the packet now than...
See,
I mean, regardless wherever it's coming from.
Yes, but the point is that the Ghanaian is also awake.
Today's Ghanaian?
Yes, today's Ghanaian is also awake. That had it not been for, if it were to be left with you alone, and nothing, But because you have a checker, that is why this is happening. It is not lost on Ghanaians.
And they will vote based on that? So
yes,
it's more or less like
because they understand that you've had in excess of about I think the last count was over 500 billion wasted, nothing to show. That's a fact. And so what will 3 billion even do to you? That's it.
So you believe that even after the IMF deal is sealed, done, nothing better can be done with the money?
The point is, I've just said to you, you have been given Ghanaian money, 500 billion plus.
Yes.
You couldn't manage it. 3 billion, what would that really do? How? If there's no external checker, like I said, to make sure that the monies are used for the right purposes and not used for things like flying over, hiring presidential jets and partying and all those things, trust me, we'll be back to square one. And that's what I earlier on said, that we are not praying for that. We are not praying for doom because we don't want to come and take over a bad country. You understand? And so we are praying for the better of the nation before Ghanaians give us the mandate in 2024.
Okay.
You said something about
NDC Samoado.
Yes.
Yeah. But
Yes. I mean, that is public knowledge. For me, I don't think, and from the way their system itself, the MPP system is moving, as political actors, we're also watching. Clearly, you put Dr. Baumia
first.
Yes, and we are praying that they bring him.
That's what you want.
Yes. I mean, we as a party, well, I'm hoping that they will bring Dr. Baumia.
Why not either of the others? Why not?
You see,
Island?
the point is that all of them, the 7, what really are they? What new? I mean, what really are they coming to say or tell us? The only person who can have an excuse is probably maybe the Honorable Kennedy Ajapon. He can say that he's not being in government, and so he cannot be tagged with any failure. I mean, but he also has his own things that when the party decides to give him the mandate, we would unleash, or we'll get at it. But as for the rest, seriously, they cannot really come up with anything. Seriously, because you've been given, you are the vice president, the head of the economic management team.
Yeah.
And we are here. And you say what? You want us to give you? No. I don't think that Ghanaians would make that mistake.
I see.
So for them, the hurdle for him to even scale is his internal primaries.
Yeah.
That's for Dr.
Baumia, right.
That is his hurdle to even scale.
Okay.
If he does it, if he scales it, that's fine. But it's likely to go through looking at things that are happening and a lot of, but some other candidates like the Honorable Alan Chemate are also pushing very hard. Kennedy Ajapon over the weekend was also making some interesting assertions that they should forget about. And so it is for them to deal with it. We hope that they bring particularly Dr. Baumia.
You know, with what he's saying there, I feel like, okay, you know how Ghanaians are feeling about the current vice president. You know how things have been. He's speaking about the economy, how we are experiencing things when it comes to the economy. So you want him to come you want him to be the flag bearer. And then when you Ghanaians go to the polls to elect, you know that Ghanaians are enraged already.
Exactly.
So because of that, you are hoping that if Dr. Baumia is to become the flag bearer, there's a higher possibility for your party.
Exactly.
Instead.
Exactly. I have no doubt in my mind. In this room, in this studio, if we try to conduct a poll, just the few
amongst us here,
not in camera, you would see open-minded people will tell you that they will vote against Dr. Bawumia. Yes.
Open-minded.
Yes. Unless you are clothed with some political stuff or maybe you remove me there, I'm one side. You understand? But for you guys, I know you are neutrals. Yes. That is maybe for the cameras. You could be neutrals. And so when we put Dr. Bawumia here, and I tell you to give your fair assessment of him, performance, I'm sure we will not be encouraged at all.
Maybe we shouldn't even go there in the first place, man. The Hawk newspaper is here and it says that NPP NDC unveil plans for 2024. Okay, so it looks like it's from both sides and it's the same issue that has to do
with but we have not preached violence. We are looking at taking our message to the people.
Well, looking at the response that came from Yemen, some people also believe that it was more or less like, we're also trying to let you know that if you bring war, we'll bring war.
Yes,
bring peace,
of course. I mean, you tell us your plans in a subtle way. We believe that these are things that are being cooked or are being planned by the party or the government. And so we also have to give some assurances to the good people of Ghana that we will not tolerate these things. And so for me, the statement by the national organizer is in very good.
It couldn't have been put in a different way. Expect war if elections are rigged.
No, once again, is the media, the sensation. You guys, you like sensations. He didn't say that there will be war. He only served notice that if the MPP is thinking of unleashing violence in 2024, it will not be easy for them. And of course, I don't think that the NDC will sit aloof for the government to suppress the will of the people.
In the interest of the nation or personal interest?
Of course. Yes, of course, it will be in the interest because if you go and vote, and the masses are saying that you people should go out, and you decide that you unleash military and all of those of your tax into the system to maim, kill, and all that, I'm not sure that the NDC will also sit aloof to that. Yeah, and so we would make sure that the system is sanitized, free and fair elections. Whoever wins, the country has to move.
Speaking of, NPP saying this, NDC saying this and all that, some Ghanaians have said that it seems John Dramani Mahama, former president, is always waiting for an opportunity for the current government to do something to anger Ghanaians, and then he would come out and speak about it and say something like, when we come into power, we will reverse it. An example is when the 10% tax was introduced, for instance, on betting and lottery wins. A lot of Ghanaians were saying that they are waiting for former president to come out and say something like, when we come into power, we will reverse that 10% tax on these bet wins and lottery wins.
First of all, the NPP is not a benchmark.
Okay.
Not at all. They are on their different route. And we're also on our lane. And so we are a party that thinks fairly about good governance. We think about the people. And so you realize that when NDC is in power, and this one, everybody knows, that Ubia Didi, you understand, the benefits of the national cake goes everywhere. It's not a selected few. So for people to even think that John Dramani Mahama is always looking for an opportunity to launch on the negatives of the MPP or some policies that are not in tandem with the suffering or the well-being of the people. For me, it is them. They are ruling, and he is a former president. He's ruled before and seeking to come and finish up. And so if he knows what goes into governance, and so if you are introducing or coming up with certain things that he feels that will not inure to the benefits of the people, he has every right to speak about it. And that is what governance and a true Democrat and a nationalist is supposed to do. I'm sure there are certain things that you might have heard or some policies that the government might have introduced. Maybe because you are a media person, you would not want to say or talk about it, but in your closet, you could condemn some of these things and say, "Enkuye." Yes, so it is time for us to speak up. We shouldn't even be looking at former presidents or political actors as individuals who would always also be affected by some of these policies and directions of a government, whether NDC or an MPP. You should be able to speak up to power and make sure that it is our power that they wield. You understand? It is our power that these leaders wield. And so we cannot allow them also to go all out and do things that pleases their kingdom, so to speak. Yes.
Well, maybe the last one over here says NDC manufactured unemployment. The vice president said so. I'm sure you've heard about that one too as well.
That's smiling.
I will not say anything about it. I mean, after 6 years, moving to your 7th year, or yes, in your 7th year, you are still talking about NDC manufacturing unemployment. How? That's what I'm saying, that they should bring Dr. Baumia. It will be a very...
It looks like that's the easy road for the NDC. Like,
in fact, all of them,
easy road.
like I'm saying, all of them, easy. It will be easy. That is why they are serving this kind of notice to Ghanaians that they will unleash violence. But we're also prepared and waiting that we sell out our messages to the people and tell them what we can do or we will do when giving the mandate.
He also spoke about breaking the 8. I think that they're very confident about that. You know, they even had a comparison situation with regards to what happened in Nigeria.
It is even a joke for me, because you see, Nigeria had already broken the 8. When you study the Nigerian politics, the PDP had broken 8. Well, I mean, for far too long. This is not the first time the Buhari party had also come to break the 8. Because the PDP had been in power for 16 years. That is, I mean, at a point in time, that is clearly a breaking of the 8 at the time. So
it's not first.
So it's not, they are only tickling themselves and laughing. I mean, the story of Nigeria cannot be the story of
But when it happened, they really were very confident.
And yes, it is because, like I'm saying, they only want to tickle themselves and laugh. So we leave them to it. The showdown would be after we are done with all our internal reorganization, get our flag bearer, and then we hit the road running.
It's going to be a long race. It's going to be really, really a long one.
And we are also very confident that Ghanaians, 8 years of unnecessary, reckless, unwarranted, you can use all those adjectives to describe this style of governance. I mean, Ghanaians will not want to entertain this moving into 2024 and beyond. I trust
they also seem to believe that they've been a listening government to some extent.
Listening.
I mean, Isaac J. Hyde was here from the communication team, and he mentioned that they've reduced some of the, many appointees that people were crying about. They've reduced them, and so it's more like now they're beginning to understand what Ghanaians want, and they are doing exactly that for them. And so that alone should ensure them a ticket.
It is even an indictment on his president, our president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to have suggested that they are now beginning to... The man said he was in a hurry in 2017. He said he was in a hurry, and so he needed that large size, 125, 126 people to work with. So is he saying that he knows better than the driver himself?
Well, at that point, they needed that because they needed to make sure that they're able to have the numbers to work with. Now, they believe that, it's okay for us to reduce it because the major work has been done already. They only need there's few
major work. You say?
Yeah.
I'm surprised if there's any major work to have been done, we will not be chasing IMF. I mean, it's just
because in the first 4 years, I mean, they've always said that they did better in the first 4 years. That has always been the conversation.
I mean, the records from 2016, all the international economic what do you call it? International economic. I need a word for this. And the system itself had proven that Ghana was going to flourish in 2017, 2018, and beyond.
Okay, so more like the economic
and so you inherited a government, or you inherited a system where structures were already cooked for you.
That's what you think?
Yes, NDC did. I mean, everything. When they came, it is the funding or the money NDC had acquired from the Canadian government that they launched on to do their planting for food and jobs. This is record. This is an open record that everybody is aware. You understand? NDC had stopped doing so. President John Dramani Mahama had. They
don't think you entirely dead.
No, but Dr. Baumia in November admitted that you should not give credit to John Dramani Mahama for solving doom so. What does that mean? Yes, and so everything was pointing to the fact that Ghana was going to grow 2017, 2018. Their real size was seen after 2019 that the IMF had left. Because, we were also having a program with IMF.
Yeah.
And they insulted us, called us all sorts of names, particularly the president at the time. And so we thought that immediately they come, they would just take us out of the IMF. But when they came, they extended it for a year. That should tell you something. Now, after the year of extension, then their real size was seen after the IMF had left. Now do the thing. Let's see what you're capable of doing. And this is where we are now.
And maybe it's a good note for us to end this segment this morning.
Okay, so before I leave, I want you to allow me to say good morning to some few
people. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. And I want to say good morning to my constituency chairman, the Honorable Achumujaka, Bright Achumujaka, who is a constituency chairman for Botiano English Yamanfum. And then also I want to say a big good morning to all law students of the King's University College, particularly the Law Students Union. We all know that in the coming days we will be electing new leaders to lead the union. And I've also put myself up for elections.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm looking forward that the students or the union members would give me the mandate to lead.
Okay.
And also to champion their cause. And so I want to say a big good morning to all of them and wish them well. We have our exams in some few days. I wish everybody well in that endeavor.
Thank you.
All right, and we also wish you well. I mean, maybe we should even say congratulations already. Guys, vote for him. He's a really serious man. He do some good stuff for you guys. So vote for him.
Exactly. Thank
but
you
we're excited
much.
that you were able to make it this morning.
Thank you very much.
We're grateful for your time.
Thanks for having me.
We hope to see you here again for us to take.
Oh yes, I mean when Brenda and Co called me,
put pressure. Bring their pressure.
Exactly.
I know. But that's been News Flash this morning here on Prime Morning. We still have some more coming up.